The Galactic Council had made their position clear. The Drexian invasion of the Valorum colony was an internal matter. Non-interference was the law, carved into the very foundation of interstellar diplomacy after the burning wars had nearly destroyed half the known galaxy. Lisa watched the council chamber's holographic display with growing disgust as Ambassador Thelrax of the Kryn Empire delivered yet another carefully worded justification for why 12 million Valorum civilians were acceptable collateral damage. The precedent must hold, Thelrax insisted, his four eyes blinking in sequence. To intervene would unravel centuries of carefully maintained peace. Lisa's fingers tightened around the edge of her observation console. She had been Earth's junior diplomatic attaché for only 8 months, still learning the intricate dance of galactic politics. But nothing in her training had prepared her for this, watching an entire species be condemned to extinction, while the galaxy's most powerful civilizations hid behind bureaucratic protocol. "They're just going to let them die," she whispered to Max, her senior officer, who stood rigid beside her. Max's jaw clenched. His 20 years of military service before joining the diplomatic corps had given him a particular perspective on situations like these. "The council has its reasons, Lisa. We're the newest members. We don't have the political capital to challenge them." Political capital? Lisa's voice rose sharply enough that several nearby diplomats turned to look. She lowered it to an angry hiss. "Max, we're talking about genocide. The Drexians are using thermobaric weapons on civilian population centers. Children, Max." On the main display, real-time footage from Valorum Prime showed cities burning. The Drexians were methodical, efficient, and utterly merciless. Their chitinous war machines moved through the streets like metallic locusts, their energy weapons reducing everything in their path to ash and memory. Max pulled Lisa aside, away from the other observers. His voice was low, urgent. "You think I don't know that? You think it doesn't make me sick? But Earth has been part of this council for barely a decade. We break the non-interference doctrine now and we'll be isolated, sanctioned, maybe expelled." "Then maybe we don't belong here," Lisa shot back. The words hung in the air between them, dangerous and irrevocable. Max studied her face for a long moment. Then something shifted in his expression. She had seen that look before, during the Academy simulations when he would make the decision that broke all the rules but saved the most lives. "You're right," he said quietly. "Maybe we don't." 3 hours later, Lisa found herself in an encrypted communication room, watching Max's fingers fly across the quantum relay interface. He had called in every favor he had, activated old military contacts she didn't even know he possessed. The response came faster than she expected. Admiral Chen's face materialized in the hologram, her expression unreadable. "Commander Hayes, you understand what you're asking?" "Yes, ma'am," Max replied. "I'm requesting immediate intervention under Protocol 7. Lisa's breath caught. Protocol 7, the emergency directive that allowed human military forces to act independently of Council oversight in cases of imminent genocide. It had never been used. Most galactic powers didn't even believe it existed. "The Council will crucify you for this," Admiral Chen said. "They'll crucify all of us." "Understood, ma'am." A smile crossed the Admiral's weathered face. "Good, we've been waiting for an excuse anyway. Earth Warfleet is already in motion. ETA to Valorum Prime, 18 hours. The next morning, the Galactic Council chamber descended into chaos. Ambassador Thelrax's calm demeanor shattered, as tactical displays showed the impossible. 73 human warships dropping out of hyperspace around Valorum Prime. The Earth War Fleet, humanity's newest and most advanced military force, had arrived uninvited and unannounced. "This is a violation of every treaty," Thelrax shrieked, his translator struggling to keep up with his agitation. "You will be sanctioned. Expelled. Destroyed." Lisa stood at the human delegation's podium now, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Max stood beside her, his presence a solid reassurance. "Article 47 of the Galactic Charter," she said, her words cutting through the uproar. "Any species has the right to act in defense of sapient life, when all other avenues have been exhausted. We exhausted them yesterday, when this council chose procedure over people." On the tactical display, the human fleet was already engaging the Drexian forces. The aliens had never faced human military doctrine before. Aggressive, unpredictable, willing to sacrifice strategic advantage for the protection of non-combatants. Human fighters dove through Drexian formations not to destroy, but to shield Valorum evacuation ships. Human cruisers positioned themselves between the planet and the orbital bombardment platforms, taking fire meant for the cities below. The Kryn delegate was still sputtering protests when the first reports came in. The Drexian invasion force, faced with an enemy that fought with a ferocity they had never encountered, was retreating. More shocking still, the human fleet was letting them go, focusing instead on evacuating Valorum civilians and providing medical aid. "They're not conquering," one of the Orion observers noted, surprise evident in his translated voice. "They're just helping." Ambassador Thelrax glared at Lisa with all four eyes. "You've set a dangerous precedent, human. What's to stop every species from invoking this protocol whenever they disagree with council decisions?" Lisa met his gaze without flinching. "Maybe that's exactly what the galaxy needs. Maybe the precedent that needs to be set is that some laws, some principles, are worth breaking when lives are at stake." 3 days later, the last Valorum refugee ship was safely away from their dying world. The Earth War fleet formed an honor guard as the convoy passed, a show of respect that left many in the galaxy confused. Humans had broken every rule, risked their standing in galactic society, and gained nothing material in return. But on Valorum command ships, on refugee vessels, and in the quiet of their temporary shelters, 12 million survivors spoke a new name with something approaching reverence: humanity. Max found Lisa on the observation deck of the human diplomatic station, watching the stars. "Admiral Chen sent a message," he said. "We're being recalled to Earth. There'll be hearings, probably courts-martial." Lisa nodded slowly. "Worth it?" Max smiled, a genuine expression that reached his eyes. "Every damn second." In the Galactic Council chambers, the debate would rage for months. Some called for human expulsion, others argued for reform. But the message had been sent, clear and unequivocal. Humanity would not stand idle in the face of atrocity, regardless of the cost. No one was supposed to intervene. But Earth had shown up anyway, and the galaxy would never be quite the same.